Good morning.
Yes, sir. Very good morning to you. Sir, do you have any PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, PowerPoint presentation is there.
Okay, then you are comfortable with it. You will be doing that. म्हणजे त्याचे conductions तर आम्ही करायचं का तुम्ही करताय?
नाही, मी करतो, काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही.
ओके. म्हणजे तुम्ही कॅरी ऑन कराल ना ते सुरू करून
हो हो
शेअर करून स्क्रीन
हो
शेअर
हो
करून
काही प्रॉब्लेम.
ओके ओके सर ओके थँक्यू सो मच.
ओके, अजून 15-1 मिनिटं आहेत, अजून काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही.
हा आहेत अजून पार्टिसिपेंट्स जॉईन होतील.
हो हो, तोपर्यंत मी म्यूट करतो आणि मग मी आपण बोलूया.
हो हो ठीक आहे सर.
ओके, थँक्यू, ऑल द बेस्ट.
येस थँक्यू सर.
Hello, 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 mic check.
Good morning, everyone. Principal Madam, shall we start? People will join as per their time schedule. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam, you are audible.
Okay, so shall we start with it?
Sir has joined.
Yes,
Rahul,
yes, sir has joined. Yes, yes, he is there very much.
welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
So I request
Yes.
IPCC member Sneha Matre Madam to start with the program.
Yes, ma'am.
Rahul, sir.
Yeah, yeah, I am very much here.
Okay.
Rahul sir, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning to all.
Ma'am, should I proceed?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. A very warm good morning to all the dignitaries, all the delegates, and my dear colleagues for today's online national webinar on need of aligning strategy for NEP 2022 implementation. We will begin our national webinar with a national anthem. I request everyone to raise for a national anthem.
मॅडम तिकडे मुलांना जागा पुरत नाही. मी मॅडम शिकाल बोलतोय. आणि आता परीक्षा झाली की परत 222 तिकडे जाऊया. त्यांनी फाइंड आउट केलं की 106 आता पार्ट 1 मुलं कमीच आहे, एकच आहे. त्यामुळे दॅट इज ओके. पार्ट 1 ची मला त्यांनी यांना सोमापासून इकडे नंतर मग कदाचित 222.
Hello. Due to some technical issues, this national anthem is not running, but we will start with the same. Please be with us.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंग विन्ध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे भारत माता की जय।
Thank you, ma'am. On the behalf of Thane Jilla Agri Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, Pragati College of Arts and Commerce, Dombivli, I, Sneha Matre, IQAC member, take this opportunity to head towards online national webinar on need of aligning strategy for NEP 2022 implementation organized by IQAC. On the behalf of the college, we are delighted to offer a gracious welcome to all of you. I extend a hearty welcome to our today's eminent resource person, Dr. Chandrakant Rawal. Nothing great will be achieved without a great man, and men are only great if they are determined to do so. I offer a warm welcome to our principal, Dr. Jyoti Pohane. I express my deep gratitude to our vice principal, Dr. Anuja Bapat. I also offer my warm welcome to our convener and IQAC chairperson, Ms. Mansi Bhagwat. And once again, I welcome dear delegates and all my colleagues for the today's national webinar. Now, let us have the pleasure of listening to the opening remarks by the convener, Ms. Mansi Bhagwat, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sneha. Good morning, everyone. I, Mrs. Manasi Bhagwat, convener of IQAC Pragati College, Dombivli. I welcome our today's esteemed speaker, Dr. Chandrakant Rawal sir, our principal, vice principal, all the participants, team IQAC, and my colleagues. As we all know, Government of India has introduced new education policy in the year 2020, which aims to transform Indian education system by 2030. Friends, the 10 plus 2 plus 3 structure will be replaced now by 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Reforms will be introduced at all levels of education, from school to higher education, professional education, language development, and use of technology in education. Importance to vocational education has been given. Multidisciplinary nature of courses has been introduced. Academic credit, academic bank of credit, National Research Foundation, and so on are the major changes introduced in this policy. It is very required to understand and interpret these policies so that only effective implementation of the same is possible. This webinar is an attempt made in this direction to understand that how to bring these new features of policy in our regular educational setup through the system of assessment and accreditation also. I'm therefore very happy to invite Dr. Rawal sir, an eminent scholar, administrator, and a senior educationist from Pune, who could guide us into implementation aspect of new educational policy in our current framework. I thank our management and principal for providing us this opportunity, supporting us to organize this program. At the same time, I'm sure that we will be definitely get insights into very important aspects from point of view of implementation of these reforms in a very fruitful way. On this note, thank you once again, and I stop here with my views. Over to you, Sneha.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an opening remark. To give a warm welcome and to address the gathering, may I take the pleasure of requesting our respected principal, Dr. Jyoti Pohane. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, Sneha. On behalf of Thane Jilla Agri Shikshan Prasarak Mandal's Pragati College of Arts and Commerce, I welcome our today's esteemed guest, Dr. Chandrakant Raval sir, for this national webinar on need of aligning strategy for NEP 2020 implementation. I also welcome Vice Principal Dr. Anuja Bapat, Convener IQAC and this webinar, Mrs. Manasi Bhagwat, all my dear colleagues and all the esteemed professors, principals, vice principals, IQAC coordinators from other colleges. NEP 2020 has become a buzzword in the education field since the policy has been adopted and declared by the government. But still, we are just listening about the different things which we have to implement, like ABC, academic bank credit, or multiple entry and exit, or global education, and so many other things. But the colleges are still confused how to go along with this NEP 2020 and how to implement the various guidelines given by UGC for implementation of NEP in higher education. And that makes or there arise the need for such webinars and workshops so that the stalwarts in the field will guide us and we can take our institution in that path and make the alignment strategies for implementation of this NEP 2020. So without taking much of your time, we are very much eager to get the knowledge from Raval sir. So once again, I welcome Raval sir and all the dignitaries who have attended this webinar. And thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words of wisdom, which always inspire us. Now, I would like to call upon Professor Swati Pusalkar for introducing today's resource person, Dr. Chandrakant Raval. Over to you, ma'am. Swati, ma'am, over to you.
Good morning, one and all. Our chief speaker doesn't require an introduction, as he is well recognized figure of the administration and high achievements of Rohan National College of Commerce since 2011. Scholar and academic assistant in Rahul sir, and served as a chief speaker. Extreme question regarding groups. Bachelor in law and master's degree in commerce. He obtained his PhD in business and
Bhagwat madam, please mute your mic. Swati madam is not audible.
good morning, one and all. Our chief guest speaker doesn't require an introduction as he is well recognized figure. He is known for his wonderful administration and high achievement of Global Maharashtra College of Commerce. A well-known scholar and educationist, Dr. Chandrakant Raval has served as a principal of the Maharashtra College of Commerce, 6 Dr. Ramaswamy holds a bachelorate and master's degree in commerce from Savitri-Bai Phule University, a bachelorate degree in law, and a master's degree in commerce. The object of state business and commerce. Some has given over 20 reports and participated in one business conference and seminars during his university. And he is also a business guide in the area of business administration, accounts and under his mentorship, 22 candidates have obtained PhD and 24 candidates have obtained MPhil. His academic career began with as an assistant professor in 1980.
Swati madam, you are not audible properly.
From the year 1998 to 2000 and PGK Mandra's HQSI College.
Not audible.
The principal of Maharashtra College of Commerce. Under his leadership,
मला येत नाही तर माझ्या
College being granted status as college with potential for excellent status. Dr. Rawal sir is an active member of several bodies of Pune University, such as the Academic Council, Senate, and Board of Examination. He serves on different councils of Sai Balaji Education Society, Symbiosis College, and King Sarch in Pune. And he is a member of Education Committee at the Maratha Chamber of Commerce, Industries, and Agriculture. Nationally, he is a member of UGC Staff Academy College of Advisory Committee, All India Accounting Association, and All India Commerce Association, and UGC General Commerce College. He has served as a member participant and member of more than 40 educational institutes in India and 36 colleges in Maharashtra. Dr. Rawal attended 6 ministerial conferences, World Trade Organization, and visited many countries for academic work.
Hello, Swati madam, sorry to disturb you.
I hope that today's participant will be entitled.
Sneha madam, please continue with introduction.
Yes, ma'am. Was Swati madam audible during introduction? Because she has already completed the introduction of the chief guest.
But we are not able to listen anything. So let Sneha madam continue once again in short.
Just a minute, madam. Just give a minute.
Principal ma'am, it's okay, no problem. We will start with the interaction.
Just give me 1 more minute, sir.
Okay.
Mansi ma'am, can I proceed with the introduction of sir?
Just a minute, Sneha.
Okay,
Just a
ma'am.
minute.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
I think my voice has broken up due to some technical issue, but I would like to introduce our chief guest once again. Rawal sir, welcome. Our today's chief speaker doesn't require an introduction as he is well-recognized figure. He is known for his wonderful administration and high achievements of Bruhan Maharashtra College of Commerce. A well-known scholar and educationist, Dr. Chandrakant N. Rawal sir has served as the principal of Brihan Maharashtra College of Commerce since 2010. Sir holds a bachelorate and master's degree in commerce from Savitribai Phule Pune University, a bachelorate degree in law, and a master degree in economics. He obtained PhD in business and commerce. Sir has written over 24 research papers and attended 156 conferences and seminars during his academic year. He is also recognized research guide in the area of business administration and management, accountancy, and human resource management of Savitribai Phule Pune University. Under his mentorship, 22 candidates have obtained PhD degree and 24 candidates have obtained MPhil degree. His academic career began with his appointment as an assistant professor at Maganmal Udram College of Commerce, Pune in 1984. He served as the principal of M.K. Sanghvi College of Commerce and Economics, Mumbai from the year 1998 to 2000. And he was also served PGK Mandal's H.V. Desai College, Pune from 2001 to 2010, before he became the principal of Brihan Maharashtra College of Commerce. Under his leadership, Brihan Maharashtra College was given the title of Best College among the affiliated colleges of Pune University. Dr. Rawal sir was also awarded the Best Principal Award from the same university. He also led the way for the college being granted the UGC status as the college with potential for excellence status. Dr. Rawal sir is an active member of several bodies of Savitribai Phule Pune University, such as the Academic Council, Senate, and Board of Examination. He serves on academic councils of Sai Balaji Education Society, Symbiosis College, and INSAARCH in Pune. And he is also a member of Education Committee at Maratha Chamber of Commerce and Industries and Agriculture. Nationally, Sir is a member of UGC Staff Academic College Advisory Committee, All India Accounting Association, and All India Commerce Association. He has also served as a member coordinator and member of peer team, more than 40 educational institutes in India and 36 colleges in Maharashtra. Dr. Rawal sir attended 6th Ministerial Conference of World Trade Organization held at Hong Kong and visited many countries for academic work. Sir, once again, welcome in our college. And so thank you so much for your presence in our national webinar. Now, I would like to request Neha Madam to proceed with the session.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. As rightly said, to improve the golden movement of opportunity and catch the good that is in our reach, it is a great art of life. It is a great honor and a personal pleasure to have you as a today's speaker. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Now, I request our today's resource person, Dr. Chandrakant Rawal, sir, to enlighten the webinar from his word of wisdom. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for the words of the appreciation. At the outset, let me congratulate the Pragati College principal, the IQAC coordinator, the members of the faculty, and the team of the management for organizing such a relevant national webinar on a topic which is very close to our heart and which is very essential, considering down the line the NEP is going to be implemented in Maharashtra. Recently, the government of Maharashtra has appointed a task force for implementation of NEP in Maharashtra. Prior to that, there were several committees appointed by the government of Maharashtra under the chairmanship of different eminent scholars, educationists, social reformer, and scientists too, under the guidance of Dr. Mashelkar. And then reports are available to us. And possibly, we are expecting in a couple of months, the new task force, which is constituted, will be able to give us the report. And with this report, we all will require to implement the National Education Policy 2020. I also express my sincere thanks to Principal Dr. Pohane Madam, Dr. Mansi Bhagwat Ma'am, Matre Ma'am, Tikekar Ma'am, and Swati Ma'am for taking initiative to organize this event. With the help of a small presentation and some clips, video clips, I'll be interacting with you for almost next 50-60 minutes. And then it will be followed by question answers, if any. Now, when we talk about the national education policy, we must consider that this policy is much awaited. I'll be sharing my screen. Hope it is visible to all.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when we talk about this national education policy, this is a policy which is much awaited, which is accepted by the government of India. Before acceptance, the various stakeholders were consulted. Their opinions, their responses were collected, they were summarized, and a final document was presented in front of the Parliament for approval. In a country like India, it's very difficult because we have diversity, we have regional differences, we have different languages, and moreover, the education comes in concurrent list, wherein the state governments, all the state governments and central government jointly shares the responsibility of providing educational facilities, and wherein the role of state government is equally important and equally significant too. So on this backdrop, we have to look to this policy, and then we have to think differently for its implementation. When we talk about this policy, I'll not be going into all details which are available on public domain, but definitely I will be touching some important points which need to be taken into account for our implementation. So when we talk about this national policy, this one paragraph will be more important for us. The most important and urgent reforms needed in education is to transform it, and intentionally with blue colors, I have mentioned 2-3 things. To relate it to the life, need and aspirations of the people, and make it the powerful instrument of socio-economic and cultural transformation. When we talk in these terms, naturally, we all, being a teacher, being an important stakeholder of education system, looking to it as an instrument wherein there are standard set goals which need to be achieved down the line. Now we are in 2022, and then there are some milestones which are decided in this policy. By and large, we are expecting by 2035, the policy will be operational. in all possible areas. In education, we don't expect that within, say, 2-3 years, there will be visible results. After 5 years only, we can see some development. After 10-15 years, we can confidently measure the performance of policy decisions. So with these words, let us look to the major milestones of the policy, highlights. As I told you that I will not be going into the structural part, which is available in our domain, public domain. This policy talks about flexibility. We always claim that our system is student-centric, but then equally we are well aware that our existing system is largely depends on various factors like number of staff members, number of classrooms, number of computer labs, number of science labs, sports and cultural facilities, government funding, and so on. So naturally, we all are operating within a very limited framework. And here in this new policy, it is expected that in true sense, it will give choice to the student to decide the subjects. And this choice will be naturally limited. But considering today's area or today's era, definitely there will be multiple choices in the form of cafeteria will be available to the student. So it is an again important characteristics or feature of this policy. Second point I have mentioned is equal promotion. So far as arts, science, physical education, extracurricular and co-curricular activities are concerned, there is a weightage which is given to that. Being a teacher, we know that we are imparting the syllabus of an affiliated university, and then university conducts the examination. In case of autonomous colleges, the situation is little different. The syllabus is decided by the colleges, examinations are conducted by the colleges, and then along with that, we do provide limited facilities for curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular, say, sports and culture. But in new policy, an attempt is made to promote curricular and co-curricular along with the extracurricular too. Third point is more important. It is about multidisciplinary. Now we have compartmentalization. Arts colleges, science colleges, commerce colleges, or multi-faculty colleges, and so on. As on today, we are giving emphasis on our core subjects. In new policy, so far as multidisciplinary nature is concerned, an attempt is made wherein there will be a platform which will be available to both of us, student as well as faculty, to use the creativity, allow critical thinking, and then there will be a space to have the subjects of different stream and faculties and disciplines. A commerce student possibly may opt a one program or a course of a specific credit from science faculty or from humanities too. And similar will be the case in case of the science, wherein the student possibly may offer one component of credit from commerce faculty related to accounting, costing, and so on. This policy base is lifelong learning. So again, policy introduced and expects that the system should be such wherein it will cultivate life skills, wherein it will not be limited to some specific skills, but possibly will promote and encourage cooperation, teamwork, empathy, resilience, and so on. Assessment, there are many more things which are told in the policy and included in the policy. Now it will be a formative assessment for learning rather than the existing summative assessment. So it will be a continuous attempt, and possibly there will be different ways and means and techniques, including the technology which will be used for purpose of assessment of the student performance. We are hoping a possibly teacher will be able to implement a different strategy of performance assessment so far as his subjects is concerned, which is based on classroom teaching, classroom interaction, students' participation, application of the skills which he has learned, and then using for projects, using for social connectivity, outreach programs, preparing the research papers, and so on. The new policy aims to take learning outside of the four walls of the classroom and encourages students to imbibe from the real world. We use the word shop floor experience or hands-on experience. Now this is very much essential. So there is a provision wherein we'll be able to have tie-up with the industries, collaborations with the industries. Possible students will be absorbed by them and they will have this real life experience. Considering the vacations or having a separate provision in some of the semester after basic 2 years, and then possibly it may lead to some additional things. Initially, the madam has rightly pointed out that the structure is changed, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Now these structural reforms will take place, particularly so far as Maharashtra is concerned. There will be a big challenge in front of us about the junior colleges, which are attached to our senior colleges. So such type of structural major changes. There will be some changes which will be relevant to single faculty colleges. There will be such changes which will be related to cluster universities or possibly a cluster colleges, a group of colleges. So these structural reforms are expected in coming years. And then I have mentioned one more point, wherein contemporary subjects which are limited to faculties and discipline, arts, humanities, commerce, science, engineering, architect, and so on, along with a provision is there for having advanced, time-related, technology-driven courses. Nowadays, data is more important and data management is more important, more significant. So courses like artificial intelligence, design thinking, data analytics, machine learning, along with holistic health, overall development, an attempt is made efforts are made to give the weightage into this new policy. Now, looking to these points, naturally, we are expecting certain things which need to be taken by the government. That's why categorically I have mentioned that there is a need to allow the participation of private educational providers. Private doesn't mean that always private. Now in Maharashtra, there are many charitable trusts. There are many societies which are registered under Societies Act, and they are operating. And there are big institutions like this. In Maharashtra, there is a Rayat Shikshan Samstha. In Maharashtra, there is a Deccan Education Society, or even a Pragati College. These are all operated by the trust or societies. So like that, there is a need to have participation of all the educational providers. Another important point which I have highlighted here is about infrastructure. While introducing, the madam was referring to the revamping the infrastructure, the school complexes which are expected to be established. So this infrastructure, more and more advanced, more and more use of available infrastructure, sharing of resources, collaborating with others, this possibly will improve, will increase down the line. Considering the international standards about the quality, about the PG admissions, particularly we call it MS admissions, considering the research contributions made by the Indians, including all universities and individual teachers, more emphasis is given on improving teaching standards. In a country like India, where number is more, our population is large, and there is a need to reach masses. Now, with the limited funds which are available by the government, with the inadequate infrastructure, naturally we will not be able to reach almost all. I'll be giving details of the enrollments which is there in down the line in new slides. But then definitely the one alternative which is available is about the technology. We all are remembering the COVID situation has brought us to use the technology. Previously, we used to tell our students, don't use the mobiles. But because of the COVID, we were forced to tell the student, use the mobile, be online, attend online classes, appear for the examination online, and so on. So technology is one solution. It is not the only alternative, but it is one alternative to reach to more audience. There is a need to have guidelines about the standards about the admission, standards about the syllabus, standards about the examination pattern, standards about the PG, standards about the internships, standards about the research publication, and so on. So many more things are expected in this area. And then is it possible that we can implement a common plan? Common doesn't mean there will be definitely inbuilt provision wherein the local components also will be equally important and possibly will get an opportunity to add in. So considering the local requirements, considering the resources available, possibly we will be able to align the requirements of the region, nation, and possibly in international to some extent. So that all is there. In next 3 lines, I have mentioned, if I use the Marathi word, it is a Sivadhanushya. It's a big challenge. And particularly in a country like India, wherein we have a democratic systems, there are different states, and these states have their own policies and priorities too. So implementing this NEP is definitely a big challenge. And considering the quantity of the student, we use the word enrollment ratio. Considering the gross enrollment ratio, and as India is the country of the youths, the percentage of the population between the age group of 18 to 23 is large. So it is going to be a big challenge. We have to accept this challenge. There is no alternative. Another important point which I have mentioned here intentionally is about the need of the government support. Government is saying that possibly around 6% of the GDP, the amount will be spent on the invested on the education. If you look to the all previous 5 years plan since the beginning, since the first 5-year plan, if you verify the figures, the government could not spend the amount which was provided into the budget. So there is a need to have priority for government funding, government intervention, government expenditure. We can use one common word for this: government investment into education. If government succeed to spend 6%, even that will be also a sumptuous good contribution. I was referring to technology. So naturally, technology infrastructure, 2G, 3G, 4G, now 5G, possibly more Gs will come. Now this technology is encroaching our life. Number of the telephones available compared to number of the mobile cell phones available, and the way in which the connectivity is available. Now this will penetrate our routine, our life. Can we use this technology positively for purpose of education, for purpose of overall development, making students more updating about their contents, about their language, about their analytical ability? So that will be again a big task. So on this background, we have to consider the implementation. I'll be referring only 2-3 points so that possibly you will get an idea how challenging it is. Now take only one component of the research. When we talk about the research, where we stand? For purpose of understanding only, I have given a comparison. Okay, PhD intake, PG intake, and UG intake. What is the situation in Western countries, or we can call it as an advanced countries? MIT, Stanford, PG intake is around 50%, PhD intake is 50, PG intake is 20, and UG intake is around 30. What is the case in IISc and IITs? 40, 20, 40. NITs and IITs 30, 20, 50. And we come under the category of others. Our PhD intake is 10%. That is also not available in all the colleges, all the higher education institutions. Okay, PG intake is also less. Our more intake is about the UG. And then we are expecting that there should be a research, and research should be of international quality. Now, this is the hardcore reality. Again, a second example I am giving connected to this one, academic progression. Only 2-3 parameters just for a purpose of understanding I am putting in front of you. Look to the academic progression. Those who have completed their NAC cycle recently in last 1.5 years, they can understand the academic progression from UG to PG and from PG to research and postdoc and so on. A stand for average, A stand for facilities, quantitative and qualitative. There are different phases which are shown here. Phase number 1, phase number 2, and what is currently existing. So far as state is concerned, in phase, almost everybody stands into average. In second phase, they develop the facilities and they give emphasis on quantity. And now they talk about the quality. That's why their publications are internationally accepted. Citation index is very high. H index is very high. Out of the research, there is a patented work. And then research is brought to the land, that is brought into the industries or brought into the agricultural field. And then there are visible results of the research. This is all about the advanced countries. Where is China? Quantity more, as like India. Second phase was average. Now they are concentrating on the quality. Now take the example of the India, wherein facilities were very limited. Intentionally, I am not using the word inadequate. In true sense, very inadequate. Second phase average, and we started giving facilities. Now we are talking more of reaching to more enrollment ratio, more higher education facilities, and so on. So this is second. Let us look to the another one. Now the world is talking about the quality, and quality is always attached to assessment and accreditation mechanism existing into the countries. Now NBA 200, national ranking, and then NAC. Now if you look to these parameters, in all three, there is an emphasis on what? There is an emphasis on research paper, IPR, consultancy, collaborations, and then leading to student development and student projects. Now, these are all common parameters which possibly you will find into all these, whether it is NBA or NIRF or NAC. So now that all process has started, and these all organizations, our national organizations which are dealing with the performance evaluation of educational institutions, are now started concentrating on this one. So what should be our approach? There is a need to have targeted approach. And there is a need to have operationalizing NRF systems. So this possibly linked to these three important parameters. One is the faculty, which is more important, very core. And along with the faculty, what is required into colleges is financial stability, financial provision, financial support. And with that, the infrastructure. Adequate infrastructure for research, adequate infrastructure for sport, adequate infrastructure for cultural, adequate infrastructure of digitalization, adequate infrastructure of internet connectivity, and so on. So these three components are more important. And when we talk about these three components, naturally, there is a need to have a plan which will deal with two important things: our issues, our challenges, our weaknesses, our limitations, and our team available with us. I have just summarized them as a problem and team. So there is a need to nurture a team with whatever team available. And when I'm using the word team, I mean P to P, principal to peon, everybody. Not limited to only teaching, non-teaching, admin staff, everybody. And problems I had told you, challenges, limitation, weaknesses, available infrastructure, and everything that comes into this one. So there is a need to focus it, identify, and try to resolve. And it need to be outcome based. And so far as mindset is concerned of all the staff members, there is a need to nurture, need to modify, need to change, and there is no need to wait. We have to start, we have to implement. Now, possibly, I'll not go into this detail. Other details are equally important. So whatever we have discussed in last 10 to 15 minutes, for purpose of our better understanding, we can group it into the trends. And what trends are there so far as India is concerned, so far as Maharashtra is concerned? There are social trends, there are technological trends, there are curriculum to evaluation trends, there are financial trends, and there are service related trends or services related trends. One by one, quickly we'll go. Savita Punjabi madam, will you please, Punjabi madam, your mic, your sound system. Punjabi madam, please. Punjabi madam.
Rupali madam, please mute all the participants.
Thank you. Now, just to think differently, and can we implement some different strategy in our colleges? That is the basic idea of this interaction. That's why some of the highlights I'm just trying to put in front of you for discussion, for understanding, and possibly we may find out some alternative at our own college. When we talk about the social trends, now what are the social trends? Overall, if we are looking, then definitely the enrollment is increasing compared to the first 5-year plan till today. Okay, I'll give some statistics to you. If you consider the national survey of 1920, most recent, okay, one major change which we have seen is diversity. And what is the diversity which is existing into India? That is more alarming, more eye-opener for us. Referring to the previous year, 1920, the number of the students were 38.5 million. Out of that, around 20 millions were male and around 19 millions were female. Now, this is diversity. Out of this all, around 85% students have enrolled into 6 major disciplines: humanities, science, commerce, engineering, technology, IT, and so on. Diversity, I'm talking about diversity. 2 points I have already told you: male and female, girl student and boy student. Second is about the discipline, diversity. Let us look to the teacher. Out of the total teacher, 57% male, 42% were female. A third, teachers diversity. Now look to the social groups. there are some social groups wherein the admissions are available. Open, so far as social groups are there are different sections. SC is there, ST is there, OBC is there, NTs are there, and minorities are there, so on. Now, what is the percentage? Around 15% SC student, around 6% ST, around 37% OBC, around 8% minorities. Now, this is a diversity component which is existing in social trend so far as we are concerned. I have mentioned these points differently, that enrollment has increased, faculty and administrative staff has increased, percentage of women staff and girls as student has increased, social section enrollment percentage yet to reach the target, particularly in the category like ST, we are not able to reach, and increasing non-traditional student. This is again important. Non-traditional means what? The student between 18 to 23 is our student, but then the percentage is increasing. You will surprise to hear that the percentage in our total education is around 11% distance enrollment is there. And out of that, around 45% is female enrollment for distance. So this distance education is increasing significantly. Another important challenge which is there, which is not yet touched by all of us, is about the mental health of the student. And these figures are alarming. I have a data of 2018. In 2018, around 10,000 students committed suicide. So that indicates the health status of our student. So this is all about the social trends which are existing. Now let us look to technology. I will not be giving much about the technology, but then 2-3 points just we will touch. Gaining importance for lifelong learning. L3 stands for lifelong learning, because there is an academic bank of credit is going to come, and we will require to upgrade ourselves continuously till the last date of our journey. So definitely this lifelong learning is going to increase. Not limited to only degree and diploma, but additional grades, which will accumulate into our credits, and possibly depending upon our accumulation of a number of credits, we'll be able to get the degree or diploma or certificates. And the speed is very high. Change is taking place with a very high speed. Artificial intelligence is becoming a major tool. Learning management systems and many more softwares are coming into the market. Digital divide and infrastructure variation is existing. Colleges do have internet connectivity, but they have problems and issues of the internet connectivity. Colleges do have computers, but their computers contents. Computers, which generation they belongs? Maybe computers, maybe the laptops, maybe palm tops, maybe other advanced. So there is a variation. And because of this variation, there are issues of connectivity. So this is all about technology. I'll not give much time to this technology, because we all are aware about this technology. This is again very close to our heart, very close to our daily routine working and functioning. What are the trends which we are realizing in curriculum and evaluation trends? Attempt to revise curriculum and making it relevant for changing times. Just compare how the syllabus is taking place and change into universities and into colleges. I'm not referring to the autonomous colleges. And look to the speed at which this change is taking place. And look to the private educational providers. I'll give only one example. Take the example of the commerce. Now, commerce, how the syllabus is changing, at what rate, at what speed, and take the example of the private educational providers. Even in India, take the example of the Institute of Chartered Accountant, Institute of Cost Accountant, Institute of Company Secretary, or even a Tally certificate course provider. They are using most modern technique and they are changing at very speed. So that is an important thing. Second thing is everybody is trying to identify the skill gap. Now, you know, our students are linked, their performance is linked to placement. So if they are getting employment, they will be happy. If they are not getting employment, then something is different. Something need to be improved. So what is the skill gap? What we are delivering and what market is expecting. And everybody is trying to identify the skill gap. The skill gap may be related to language, may be related to communication, may be related to analytical ability, may be related to presentations, or many more. There are various factors. Another important change which is happening in curricular is now we are open and we are ready to do the collaborations. Collaborations are right from curriculum to evaluation technique and to provide extracurricular and co-curricular support to our student. That collaborations number is increasing. Increasing preference to MOOC. Now MOOC courses are available. And possibly a system will come wherein the MOOC courses completion credits will be revealed into the statement of marks of our student. So this number is increasing significantly. Evaluation methods need to change. Now in COVID, we have changed our evaluation systems, but they are more of limited to multiple choice questions. But down the line, there will be more new things which will come up. And this will definitely will suit to the competitive market. Now, this is more important, competitive market, what others are doing, what industry is expecting, and then accordingly, the assessment tools, assessment needs, assessment processes, assessment methods will be required to be carried out. Co-curricular and extracurricular, I already told you. Academic credit bank, which is again a significant new and training to our existence. This is again a more challenging. There is a need to train our staff, teaching staff, non-teaching staff, including the management representative too. And this training is again a big challenge. Training not limited to only use of technology. Training related to all above factors, how to identify the skill gap, considering our own target group, our own student. The skill gap which are identified by some of the IITs, that all skill gap work will not be useful to us because our students are different. Our infrastructure is different. Our student expectations are different. So we have to, how we can identify that. So there will be a training. There will be a training needs, how we can identify our collaborators. What will be the contents of our collaborative MOU agreements, how we can negotiate with them, and how we can continue with them. So there will be a need to have training of all these things. Another area which is there and which is also equally important is about the financial trend. Changing pattern all over the world is changing. Financial trends are changing. Particularly if you look to the international level, then international level also funding is increasing, but funding is coming from a very limited group only. Public participation is not there. So far as government is concerned, government of India or government of Maharashtra is concerned, definitely the funding has reduced significantly. Now the government has opened a very clear policy, non-grant colleges, permanently non-grant colleges. You introduce any new subjects, no problem, we don't mind, you do at your own. Now these policies are going up. And then this indirectly is inviting to private sector, and private sector has increased significantly in that area. So these financial trends are there. And when we talk about these financial trends, naturally, this is a dominating factor. Services to be provided to the student. And then there is more importance to that. Now, when we talk about these services, they are not limited to only, say, relevant curriculum, teaching, learning, pedagogy, transparent system of admission, transparent system of evaluation, facilities and infrastructure, ambience which we are providing, cultural friendly and eco-friendly campus, placement services available, accreditation status of our college, our student progression, our industrial acceptance, recognition status, and so on. So now these new services are coming up. Now many of our students are interested to go abroad. Many of our students are interested to get a good placement. So a lot of services are required. Giving them recommendation later, giving them the verifications, giving them the support of credit evaluation, or accepting the credits of the recognized institutions and indicating and giving the marks into our statements. Now this all will increase. Simply, our services within the campus and outside the campus has increased significantly. And the college, which will be able to provide these services quickly, the college which will be able to respond positively to such services which are made available to the student, definitely that college will gain the additional thing. Now, considering this all, there will be a question that can we implement this? How we can align this? Now, naturally, I will not be going to deal with the all points, but some of the important points definitely I will be happy to deal with. Now, what will be our alignment strategy? Now, when I'm using the word alignment, I mean with whatever available stuff, with whatever available infrastructure, with whatever financial limitations we have, whether our college is autonomous, whether our college is affiliated college, and so on. That all means the available situation. Okay. Now look to this one. I tried to concise it into 2-3 slides only, so that we'll be able to roughly give the time. Okay. When we talk about the curriculum, naturally, what is our program? Our program means maybe BCom, maybe BSc, maybe BA, or maybe PG, UG program, maybe a diploma, maybe a certificate. That I mean a program. So that program need to be hard. The curriculum need to be relevant, need to be accepted by the industry, and our teaching learning pedagogy need to be most relevant. And when I'm using the word teaching learning, I mean to suit the requirement of each student of the class, not limited to only advanced learner and slow learner, not limited to regular student, irregular student, occasional student, seasonal student, VIP student, not limited to sports student, not limited to cultural student, not limited to the students who come from vernacular medium, maybe local medium, Marathi medium, or maybe some they came from minorities. Not limited to the type of the learning which has taken obtained into the schooling, maybe Ivy school, maybe HSC board, or maybe the ICCI, and so on. So that all. So our syllabus need to be such. Teaching learning need to be relevant to that. And more important, our evaluation systems, whether of university or whether of the college, need to be most reliable, need to be transparent, and need to be more inclusive. That strategy. And how we can do this one? We can do along with minimizing the skill gap. So naturally, what strategy you can apply? In the beginning of the admission, you can take this way. You can take the stock of students' skills and in which area they are lacking. And then look to the syllabus or look to the program which he has decided to opt. And then considering these both, what future opportunities he has, and then we have to prepare a plan for 3 years or 4 years, considering 4 years degree or 3 years degree, or there is multiple exit and multiple entry too. So considering that, we have to design our strategy to inculcate various skills which are required into the market. So simply what we will require to do, we will require to prepare a plan of a student for its capacity building, and not limited to life skill, not limited to ICT. So that should be the case. Okay. And then this all, what we have to do within an affordable fee structure, that is more challenging. So our price policy, this means our fee structure. So our fee structure need to be Shamla Mujumdar, please. Shamla Mujumdar,
Yes, sir.
please. Your wife. Thank you. So this all we have to give into a package which is inclusive and equitable. That is more challenging. So we have to align our fee structure with these two, our syllabus and program, and what skills need to be inculcated and within how much period. So that will decide our fee structure, and that fee structure need to be also inclusive and equitable. So it is a big challenge. Two more components will give, and I will give you two more clues. Technology. So there is a need to update our technology, and mere technology means there are two components. One is capital expenditure. You are installing the technology and then you are maintaining and updating the technology. So that expenditure. So this technology should be future ready. Future ready doesn't mean that purchase today and relax for next 10 years. Now technology changing every 6 months, every 2 years, and every 3 years too. So that span of the 15 years, 20 years, 10 years has come down to less than 5 years. So we have to make an adequate arrangement for this one. So this is again a technology challenge, aligning ourselves with the technology. Okay, one more I will take, and then I will show you some clips how we can work. Services I have told you already. Services which are required to suit ever increasing expectation of student. Every student possibly will have different services expectations from you, and that you can satisfy by using the use of modern technology. That is again a big challenge. We have to align ourselves. And then I was talking about the collaborations. So look to the collaborations. The collaboration need to be win-win situation. The collaborators should get the benefit and we must get benefit. Then only it is of use. One way it is of no use. So what should be the strategy? Explore your strength and core areas. You need to be ready to share your resources, as well as you need to be in a position to use the resources of your collaborators. Okay, there is a need to have joint activity. Joint activity not limited to research and publication. Any joint activity, maybe an FDP, maybe an orientation, maybe related to placement, maybe related to training for placements, maybe related to undertaking a small research project, maybe going for publications based on primary data, and then it may be related to training also. So this all is required. And in this all, what important is required is you must be able to go for need assessment. You must be able to go for apt decision. You must be able to take the right stand, and you must be able to allocate the work properly, and you must be able to take the charge of the team. 5 components I told you. Now these 5 I will try to explain with the help of an small entertainment videos, which possibly you will like it. Okay, so let us see that all, and then possibly I will be able to conclude. Okay, now I'm talking about need assessment. Let us look to this one. I hope you will be able to hear it. Language is South, but you can understand. So you must be able to assess the situation. You must be able to identify the gaps which are existing. You must be able to collect the data of the student in the beginning of the year, and then immediately start a plan. And then you have to execute. Let us look to the next one. Okay. Next one is what? you must be able to take an apt decision, and decision timing need to be minimized, okay, as early as possible. How we can do this? Let us look to this one. Forget about the entertainment and movie. Talk about the app decisions. Okay. So quickly we have to work. We have to assess the situation and quickly you have to work. So there is a need to have an integration of the all members, teaching and non-teaching staff members. Once that is over, naturally this will be more important. Okay. Taking right stand is also equally important. Good is good, bad is bad. Useful is useful, not useful is not useful. How we can do that? Look to this one. Good again.
दंडनायक, इस अहंकारी को बंदी बनाकर घुटनों पर झुका दो। आज्ञा राजमाता।
देवसेना को किसी ने हाथ भी लगाया तो समझो बाहुबली की तलवार को हाथ लगा दिया।
So taking right decision and right stand is important, which is good for the student, we must do. Okay. Keeping aside our own egos, our own opinions. Opinion need to be expressed, but let us come to conclusion. Okay. And that is again important. Okay. Meaningful conclusion we must be able to draw, and meaningful conclusions will help us to implement a strategy. So what is meaningful conclusion? In short, I can tell you this one.
मेरे शस्त्र का परिचय। अब शास्त्र सुनिए। वो मिट्टी हिंदुस्तान की है और वो मयूरपंख मुगल सल्तनत का पेड़ जिसकी जड़ें हैं दिल्ली, और वो तीर मराठा साम्राज्य का। जड़ पे वार करो तो बड़े से बड़ा पेड़ भी गिर जाता है।
कमाल है तुम्हारी सोच पेशवा।
So we must be able to draw meaningful conclusions which are useful to our student, which are student-centric, which are in the larger interest of the student. Okay. And while doing this one, more important is this one. See, we have different opinions. There is a need to allocate the work among all staff members, among all non-teaching staff members. So how we can do this one and how quickly, that is more important, and limit ourselves to our job profile. There is no need to encroach into others. Okay. How we can do this one? Look to this one. Very important, very interesting, small, this one. Everyone doing his own work. Very excellent teamwork. And that's also in fraction of second, couple of seconds only. So like this, we have to work. Whether teaching, whether non-teaching. Job profile is also equally important. Okay. More important. See, in colleges, possibly you may say, Rawal sir, it is okay to say, but I am well aware. In colleges, there are different staff members. I have told you different type of the student, regular student, irregular student, occasional student, seasonal student, VIP student. Like that, there are type of the staff members too, which I will not tell you. But working with this all, taking the help of the non-teaching, and then bringing them into one platform, and then again helping them with the help of the management and taking ahead and doing something in the interest of the student is equally important. Now this I will show with the help of one more clip. Okay. This is again a very most relevant one. Possibly you will enjoy this. This is the team. Now, performer may be somebody, maybe HOD, maybe vice principal, maybe IQC, or maybe the principal. He has to work with the team. Some are positively helping. Somebody will be may be liability. Some will have different approach, different opinion, in different way. Will try to contribute creatively. And somebody will create the barriers, obstacles. So you have to do the need assessment, identify the gaps, take gap decisions, take right stand, allocate the work, and then you can take the charge. And all will come in one line, with one motto, with one object, with one goal. And that is our goal, is implementation of NAP. So at our own level, we have to find out our own solutions. That is more important. Okay, possibly all will not be able to implement everything, but we can start with something, and that something is in the larger interest of the student community. So simply I can say, okay, NAP is there, consider future needs of your student, and then accordingly implement the syllabus, implement the teaching learning pedagogy, have the evaluation system, do the skilling and upskilling, and empower your student. And if you that empower, naturally your student will be more useful. So life is about the choices. I can't, I can, I won't, I will, and why me, why not me? So that is a choice which left to us. So we must be the change agent that we wish to see in the world. So with these words, I will stop my presentation, and then possibly we'll be able to go. Okay, over to madam. I'll stop sharing now. Okay, thank you for your patience hearing. It is almost 12:32.
Thank you, sir. It was pleasure listening to you. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your deep knowledge about NEP 2020 with us. Your words were full of avid and valuable knowledge. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Kirti Bharat for handling question answer session. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, all. The session is open for question answers. If you have any questions, please post it in the chat box. If there are any questions, please post it in the chat box.
still some questions come into chat box. I just would like to communicate my worries to sir basically. That sir, this is the era of STEM programs. So the importance is now given to science, technology, engineering, management and all such subjects. How arts and commerce colleges will sustain along with their courses, especially the humanities. So what type of, how they will equip themselves to continue to sustain in this era of a new policy, sir? Will you please guide? Sir, please unmute yourself.
Now, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for a relevant question. I'm traveling all over the India, and then I have realized, and then there is always fear in the mind of the some of the faculties belonging to commerce and arts specifically. But then, to be honest, there is no need to have fear that there is an importance to the IT and all that. Definitely. See, try to understand IT is a mean, it's a tool. In Marathi, we can say, हे माध्यम आहे, साधन आहे, साध्य नाही. Okay, it is not an end goal. That is number one. Number two is that, see, in a life, take the example of our food. Now, we always say that food need to be nutritious. So this nutritious things comes from different items, not from one item. It is like life. For a student, see, science is also important, definitely, but equally, the arts is also important, and equally, the finance, that is commerce, is also important. See, finance is going to the lifeline of everything. Without finance, you will not be able to survive. See, without financial management, no family, no organization, no company, no institution, no country can survive. So finance is backbone. So finance, commerce people should not fear कि finance, commerce का क्या होगा? कुछ नहीं होगा. Finance हमेशा रहने वाला है. Finance के साथ marketing रहने वाला है. See, this today's zamana is marketing. See, the days have gone where we used to manufacture the things based on the demand or based on the advance book orders. Now that is not the case. Now the goods are produced, manufactured, and then the goods are sold into the market. So to sell that all goods, marketing is required. To do this thing all, there is a need to have human resource. So human resource management. To calculate this all price and everything, there is a need to have costing. Okay, so commerce will remain. Definitely there will be no issue. Now come to the arts. See, don't be under wrong impression that arts is not equally important. I'm of the opinion that art is also equally important. See, no country can survive without the literature. Literature is the base. And arts means language. The language proficiency is important. See, what we have to do along with the Marathi and English and Hindi, if you have additional one more language of any foreign country, having more language proficiency will be useful, and you will be demanded not only in India but outside India also. Now, having a proficiency of Japanese. See, Japanese products are required to be sold into India, and in India, so many multiple languages are there. So along with the Marathi, if you know Tamil, if you know Telugu, if you know Gujarati, equally important, very useful. So language, there will be no issue. On the contrary, language experts will be required, provided that they are matured and they are confident enough to communicate right things with right words. So language, there will be no issue. Now take the example of the history. So history will not be outdated. On the contrary, compared to the Western Europe, our histories are not maintained properly. Take the example of all forts which are available. Now in forts, Now nobody has written. You can take the example of your own village wherein you belongs. Is the village history available? It is not available. Who can do this? We can do this. So arts is equally important, not limited to musics only, not limited to only songs, not limited to dramatics, but equally important is history, political science, all languages. Okay, Constitution of India is equally important. The world is respecting the Constitution of India. Democratic values. See, this is also equally important. The only thing is that we will require to align it. That's why then I was referring to that you have to take a charge. What last 5 things are important. Try to understand. Need assessment. Okay. Apt decision. Right stand. Allocate the work. And then develop a team. So these 5 things are important. आपला हात जगन्नाथ आहे. या 5 गोष्टी जर आपण नीट केल्या तर then there will be no issue. तुम्हाला अलाइन करायला लागेल. Leave, see, out of box means what? Leave your compartments of the arts faculty. Join hands with the commerce, join hands with the science. Have a credit course. Credit course, commerce people can have a credit course of say 2 credit for the all art students and the science students to understand basic of commerce. Okay. Similarly, arts people can have a 2 credit course of understanding the history of India, understanding the history of the Maharashtra, and then one language. Understanding the democracy and constitutional values, fundamental rights. We are not aware, science peoples and comparatively commerce people. So this all is, that is why multidisciplinary. Okay, so that all will be there. There is no need to fear. The only thing is that you have to act, you have to work, you have to find out the gaps, where the gaps are. And don't limit yourself to your college only. You can have tie-up with other colleges. So that all is possible. Technology will dominate, but technology has its own limitations. Try to understand. See, I'll give an example. If everybody becomes doctor, now naturally who will be others, including patients? जीवो जीवस्य जीवनम. असं मनात अजिबात आणायचं काय कारण नाहीये की आपल्याला रिअलाइन करायला लागेल, रिमॉडिफाय करायला लागेल, रिट्यून करायला लागेल, रिवाइज करावं लागेल, considering the future needs, and accordingly we will be able to do it. I'll give a small example to you. There are how many, take the example of Mumbai only, Mumbai city only. In a day, how many foreigners come down to Mumbai? And if suppose I want to have the knowledge of Mumbai, there are no good reporters available to me. There are no good visitors available to me who can tell the basic and good thing, reliable thing, authentic thing about the history of the Mumbai. So this all is possible. There are opportunities. We have to tap the opportunities. We have to collaborate with others. We have to think differently and how we can do that all. Now that is what is an aligning strategy. We have to align ourselves with the requirement. And with that requirement, these things will happen. I'll give another good example of Sanskrit. Now the world has accepted that Sanskrit is the best language for all computer softwares, because Sanskrit is a language which has one meaning, and in rare cases 2 meanings. Rare cases. No other language in the world has this beauty. Cannot we take and explore this opportunity? This is possible. I'll give a small example to you. See, all over India, take the example of Marathi teacher. Okay. Nationally, there are awards which are given by the government of India. Can we translate that contribution of that author into Marathi? And you can take help of the Punjabi, you can take help of the Gujarati, you can take the help of the Kannada person, and you can translate Marathi into that languages. Plenty of opportunities are there. See, those who are good in communication, maybe any communication, तुमचं मराठी पण चांगलं हवंय, शुद्ध हवंय आणि पूर्ण बरोबर हवंय, तर तुम्हाला कामं मिळतात. चांगले लोक मिळत नाहीत. आज वर्तमानपत्र बघा, दुर्दैवानं, किंवा ती चॅनल्स आहेत सगळी, ती चॅनल्सवरच्या सगळ्या बातम्या पहा, इतकं चुकीचं मराठी सगळं सांगतायत लोक. हे कोण करणार? दुर्दैवानं अशी परिस्थिती आहे की बाहेर जे बोर्ड्स फ्लेक्स लागतात, त्या फ्लेक्सवरचं मराठी बघून आपली मुलं आपल्याला सांगतात की सर हे चुकते म्हणून, कारण त्या फ्लेक्सवर चुकीचं मराठी आहे. देर आर ऑपॉर्च्युनिटीज. ओके, there are opportunities. The only thing is that we have to wake up from our course, from our boundaries, from our box, and identify the opportunities. So need assessment is important, and that you can do and join hands with others. Collaborate. It is going to be the era of collaborations. Join hands with others. Mathematics people can do that all. Statistics people can do that all. Technology people can do that all. Language people can do that all. Everything is possible. Opportunities we have to tap. See, 25 years back, nobody thought in India there will be sale of water. भारतामध्ये पाणी विकलं जाईल असं कोणाला वाटलं नव्हतं. Now look today, it's a big market. So this all is going to happen. That's why then I insisted two things. Change is evident. Change is with high speed. We have to take the advantage. Okay, next.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else? If you have any questions?
Yeah, there is one, I think Lakshmi Pawar or some Trupti Tulsakar, sir, she has written the role of libraries. Yeah, role of libraries will be more important, more significant, and not limited to physical library, but digital library. Now, research is going to the backbone, and primary database research will be required. With that research, there will be research will be carried out. Possibly, we are expecting that this research will lead to patented work. Patented work will be used by industry, and this industry will come with the commercial production. So they all will be dependent on the libraries. मुळात आता काय आलंय की लायब्ररीमध्ये आपण अशी वातावरण करून ठेवलेलं आहे की कोणाची इच्छा होत नाही लायब्ररीमध्ये यायची. आता तुम्ही म्हणाला की आम्ही बराच प्रयत्न करतो पण विद्यार्थी लायब्ररीमध्ये येतच नाही. पण ते येण्यासाठी आपण प्रयत्न करायला पाहिजेत. मार्केटमध्ये मुंबईमध्ये फिरल्यानंतर विंडो डिस्प्ले कसं होतं, विंडो डिस्प्ले अट्रॅक्टिव्ह असेल तर कस्टमर आतमध्ये येतो. आतमध्ये येल्यानंतर आपण त्याला विविध वस्तू आणि पदार्थ आणि सेवा देतो आणि मग तो कदाचित घेऊ शकतो. तसे प्रयत्न आपण जाणीवपूर्वक लायब्ररीमध्ये केलं. लायब्ररी सी थ्रू आउट द इयर लायब्रेरियन कॅन डू n number of activities, small activities. So I'll give an example. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Jayanti is there. So prior to that 15 days, you display all the publications of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and then arrange two competition. One is essay competition and one is a quiz competition, and give one prize also in the form of the book. Okay, people will be forced to read. You encourage the people. From that, people will come up who will be the good speakers and collect that all data. And that will be summarized, executive summary of Ambedkar thoughts. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar from commerce point of view, from economics point of view, like that you can do. So librarian can do this one. I'll give another example to you. Suppose it is science, okay? And suppose you have physics being a specialization or microbiology being a specialization. What is happening in last 1.5 years in the world about the microbiology? New developments, current developments. Okay, refer to that all papers. I'm not saying always nature paper. At science मध्ये nature हे फार number 1 आहे. Not necessarily always nature, but something students will come to know, and that will possibly help them, encourage them to undertake some projects. Now see, it is a 4-year degree, and possibly that 4th year will be a research degree or research papers will. Now you will be the only person who will be able to give the topics to the student along with the discussions with the faculty on which topic the students should do the research work. What is research? What is literature review? How to visit library? How to use the library resources? Okay, and do you have the membership of the different libraries into Mumbai, into Maharashtra, or into some international area? So role of librarian will be more important. Okay, so it is up to you how you can explore the opportunity. Okay, next question.
Sir, is there any provision that how the higher education institute will frame the syllabus of the different subjects, and who will decide how many credits should be allocated for such syllabus? So is there any provision made in the guidelines, or it is on the way to come, the strategy for deciding or for authenticating all the things which HEI will adopt?
Okay, thank you. There are two things. One is affiliated colleges and second is autonomous college. So for the autonomous colleges, minimum degree is decided 120 plus 12. So it should be 132 and above. It can be of 140 also. There is no problem. So far as affiliated colleges is concerned, majority universities into India have accepted the guidelines of the UGC, and wherein minimum 120 credit degree is available, along with the additional credits which are available. In additional credits, there is a cafeteria system which is made available, and from cafeteria, student can opt additional credits which are going to be reflected into their statement of marks. Okay, that is number one. Number two, who is going to decide? If your colleges and affiliated colleges, possibly you can talk to the members of the board of studies and you can submit your suggestions, request in writing by mail or by letter. That you can do and ensure that the board of members will take the decision and then it will be implemented. In an affiliating system, it takes time because there is a system. Board of studies are there, then there will be a committee, then committee will decide, then it will be shared, then there will be no opinions, then board may approve, then this board will take the agenda to the academic council will approve, then it will taken to the management council. So it takes time. In affiliated colleges, it is possible. Every 2 years, you will be able to do that changes. So the credit systems are going to be there. That's why there is an academic bank of credit, wherein your credit will be deposited and it will be reflected there. And based on your credits, you will be getting the degree or certificate or diploma. एक किमान क्रेडिट झाले की तुम्हाला सर्टिफिकेट मिळेल, अधिकचे क्रेडिट झाले की तुम्हाला डिप्लोमा मिळेल आणि मिनिमम क्रेडिट पूर्ण झाले की तुम्हाला डिग्री मिळेल. And this is going to be the lifelong credit system which will be available. And you can improve always after completion of your graduation, post-graduation, doctoral, and after post-doctoral also post-doctoral. This system establish आपल्याकडे होईल. पण आता आपल्याकडे affiliating system मध्ये आपण काही गोष्टी करू शकतो आणि ऑटोनॉमस मध्ये तर काहीच अडचण नाही. ऑटोनॉमस मध्ये तर तुम्ही इमिजिएटली एखादा अजेंडा मूव्ह करू शकता. मग याच्यामध्ये महत्त्वाचं काय आहे की तुमच्या परिसरामध्ये तुम्ही नीड असेसमेंट केली पाहिजे आणि स्किल गॅप आयडेंटिफाय केले पाहिजे. या दोन गोष्टी जर तुम्ही केल्या ना तर तुम्हाला लक्षात येईल की तुम्हाला काय पाहिजे आणि कदाचित जे तुमच्याकडे जे नाही आहे पण इतर कोणाकडे आहे त्याला तुम्ही रेकॉग्निशन द्या, कोलॅबोरेशन करा, MOU करा, जॉईंट ऍक्टिव्हिटी करा.
थँक्यू सर.
थोडक्यात कसं आहे का, पूर्वी आपल्याकडे आपण त्या गावातल्या स्त्रिया एकत्र सगळ्या यायच्या आणि लोणचं बिणचं सगळं एकत्र मिळून करायच्या. बरोबर काय तुम्हाला?
येस.
तसंच करायचं, हे फक्त मोठ्या प्रमाणात करायचं. महत्वाचा मुद्दा काय? नीड असेसमेंट,
येस,
आयडेंटिफाइंग द गॅप अँड देन प्रिपेरिंग अ प्लॅन ऑफ ऍक्शन. That is more important. And then there will be a question of implementation. So implementation you can do by talking to the people, by sharing with the people, by moving an agenda, requesting the people.
So for how many years this affiliating college concept will remain? अजून किती वर्ष हा राहू शकतो? कारण की NEP मध्ये प्रत्येक कॉलेजला ते हायर एज्युकेशन इन्स्टिट्यूटला सेपरेट आयडेंटिटी द्यायचं चाललेलं आहे.
त्यांच्या मनामध्ये असं आहे बेसिकली की ही अफिलिएटिंग सिस्टीम टप्प्याटप्प्याने डिस्कार्ड व्हायला पाहिजे. आता टप्प्याटप्प्याने म्हणजे किती वर्ष लागतील त्याला? ऍक्च्युली आता युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये मोठं बर्डन आहे. ऑन अँड एव्हरेजली महाराष्ट्राचा जर विचार केला मुंबई पुणे सारख्या शहरांचा तर 200 300 कॉलेजेस 400 कॉलेजेस ही अफिलिएटिंग आहेत आणि हे विद्यापीठाला डोईजड झालंय सगळं. म्हणून तर सिस्टीम ते आणतात. ऑटोनॉमस कॉलेजला प्रमोशन देत आहेत, जो NEP मधला एक महत्वाचा मुद्दा आहे की ऑटोनॉमी प्रमोट करा. म्हणजे मग ऑटोनॉमस कॉलेज त्यांचा सिलेबस करणार, टीचिंग लर्निंग करणार, इव्हॅल्युएशन करणार. तर विद्यापीठाचं काम काय? विद्यापीठाचं काम डिग्री देणं. आणि म्हणून डिग्री अवॉर्डिंग युनिव्हर्सिटीज, रिसर्च युनिव्हर्सिटीज असं ते सगळं जे स्ट्रक्चर आहे त्याचं कारण ते आहे. पण इमिजिएटली तुम्ही म्हणाल ना पुढच्या वर्षी हे डिस्कार्ड होईल, तर पुढच्या वर्षी काही डिस्कार्ड होणार नाही. आता पहिल्यांदा टास्क फोर्सचा रिपोर्ट येईल. त्याच्यामध्ये पार्लमेंटमध्ये आपल्या विधानमंडळामध्ये विधानसभेमध्ये त्याचं चर्चा होईल, ते स्वीकारलं जाईल ड्राफ्ट. आणि मग एक टाइमलाईन डिसाईड होईल की पुढच्या एक 5 वर्षामध्ये 10 वर्षामध्ये तुम्ही टप्प्याटप्प्यानं सिस्टीम होईल. आणि मग 1 वर्ष असं ठरवलं जाईल की त्या वर्षामधून पासून ती जी विद्यार्थ्यांची बॅच आहे ती पूर्णतः वेगळी असणार आहे. पण देन देर विल बी सम अफिलिएटिंग इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स विच विल रिमेन. एकदम सगळं डिस्कार्ड होणार नाही.
थँक्यू सर.
Are there anyone else who wants to ask any question? Anyone else who wants to ask questions? Over to you, Sneha, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. As there are no further questions, we will proceed further. Now, I would like to call upon Ms. Trupti Tosarkar for proposing formal vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sneha, ma'am. On the behalf of Thane Jilla Agri Shikshan Prasarak Mandals, Pragati College of Arts and Commerce, Dombivli, I extend my sincere thanks to our management, Chairman Sri Jagannathji Patil Sahib, Vice Chairman Srimati Pushpalata Tai Patil Madam, and all the members of the Trust for their constant support. And I express my deep gratitude towards today's resource person, Dr. Chandrakant Rawal sir, for enlightening us on National Education Policy 2020. Sir rightfully pointed out the ground realities of the academics and the challenges faced in the implementation of NEP 2020 and alignment strategy for the successful implementation of NEP 2020. Sir has explained major highlights in NEP in a very simplified manner. We are very much grateful to you, sir. I am extremely thankful to our principal, Dr. Jyoti Pohane madam, for her encouragement and support. I am also thankful to our vice principal, Dr. Anuja Papat madam. I express my sincere thanks to all the participants of the webinar for joining this webinar and make it successful. I am also thankful to our IQAC coordinator, Mrs. Mansi Bhagwat, madam, and all the members of IQAC team for the conduction of this webinar. Thank you one and all. Over to Sneha ma'am.
Let me interrupt in between. Before we conclude with this session, I request all the participants to on their videos so we could have one photograph and thereafter we'll discuss. Request to everyone to on their videos, please. I request our IT support to have a photograph. Rupali madam, please inform when you finish.
Yes, done, ma'am.
Okay.
Now with
Thank
the
you so much.
permission. Now with the permission of the dignitaries, I declare the webinar is concluded. Thank you all for attending. We hope you all have enjoyed this webinar. Thank you everyone once again.
Thank you all and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. I request all the participants to fill the feedback links so that certificate, they will receive the certificate today itself. I also request our IT people to stop the recording.